This beautiful ship here is the Aegis SABRE Raven. This was a limited edition ship, which was a partnership between Cloud Imperium Games, Robert Space Industries, and Intel. There was a limited edition hard drive, which for the time was very fast. That came with a serial code, which would allow you to unlock this very unique, very rare, and very expensive ship. The Sabre Raven is effectively a kind of e-warfare ship. It has two primary weapons, but it also has two EMPs. And I don't know if you've seen any of the spoilers for the upcoming Invictus ship, but the image it showed looked an awful lot like this. So I believe that the upcoming ship, the FIREBIRD, will be a spiritual successor and hopefully a more achievable and obtainable Sabre Raven. Hopefully without the $2,000 price tag. So we're in the persistent universe at the moment in version 3.23. However, 3.23.1 is the Invictus patch. There are likely going to be some changes from this version of the Sabre Raven to the next version, which may include a gold standard. Let's take it for a little fly. It's quite a maneuverable ship. A bit like a medium fighter, I'd guess, in how it handles. It's got quite good straight line acceleration. Oh, and in case you want to see the landing gear, there they are. And it's got pretty good lights, although it is quite hard to see in Microtech at night time when there's a snowstorm. Let's change to nav mode so we can get some more speed out of it. And let's take it somewhere where we can actually get a better look at it. In this video, I wanted to do a comparison to the exterior design, color, paint, etc. of the Sabre Raven before and after the patch to see if there's any visual differences. My understanding is that it's going to have gone through a gold pass. I'm hoping that means that you have access to components and all that kind of thing. So from here on this version, we have open storage, we have loot where we have access to a storage container. If we change the view to the inventory, it's got 650,000 micro SCU, but I don't see anywhere that you can access components. Let's have a quick look around. It's really nice to actually see this ship up close, and I quite like how this ship handles as well. Really unique kind of thruster at the back. I really like these kind of cutaways that they have through the body. It's got these big intakes on the front, and that appears to be about it. So I guess this version of the Sabre Raven doesn't appear to have any access ports or panels or anything like that. The reason why I wanted to show this version is so that we can get an idea of what the Sabre Raven was before its gold pass and what it is going to be in 3.23.1, and hopefully get some hints as to what the FIREBIRD is going to be or what it's going to look like. And I know this might seem like a lot of MFDs, but I think that 4 MFDs is actually quite nice. Your standard view only really shows the top 2, which is where you keep your important information, giving you an amazing all-round visibility for dogfighting purposes. These are the Quarrel weapons that it comes with. Quite a cool sound, but they're not particularly effective in the current patch. So there you have a full look of the Sabre Raven in 3.23. Okay, now let's check out the gold pass in 3.23.1. So here we are, about to get our first view at the gold pass version of the Sabre Raven. At first glance, it doesn't really look much different. This one has laser repeaters on it. It looks like we've had some thruster changes on it. Overall, still that beautiful exterior design, Let's have a check higher up. Yeah, there's definitely been some changes in the position of the thrusters. The top of the ship is much cleaner. I think it had some vertical slots that these circular thrusters fit into, and they were slightly clipped into the mesh the last time I saw them. This is a much tidier, cleaner, and I guess more polished design. I don't remember the kind of smudgy fingerprints in the chrome last time, and those vertical thrusters are quite nice. And those kind of elongated thrusters may be new as well. I'll have to put a side-by-side comparison up on screen for you. But other than that, they kept pretty true to the design. So this UI is new, although I don't see any cargo space option on this side, which many other light and medium fighters now have. Let's have a little hunt around for buttons. What's this? Ooh, open storage. Okay, so we've got a small 650K micro SCU storage here. This appears to be a little weapon rack, but I guess because we're in armistice, I can't pull anything out to put in there. At least I assume that's a weapon rack for small weapons. I'm not sure. You know, I'm not confident. Maybe it is for something else. Nice animation though, obviously that's new. Let's crouch and have a look underneath. Oh, we got a new button here at the back. Oh, okay, so that looks like a fuel port. So that could be used to refuel by using a Starfarer. They have a similar port on the Gladius. This bottom section does look like it opens up. It wouldn't surprise me if we found a button down here on one of the sides. Curious, nothing there. Maybe there are some other components on top. Yeah, it definitely looks like there are some component bays on the top as well. So let's get this to a low gravity planet so we can check it out.
Aegis combat system activated. Systems green.
Now that definitely sounds like a chunkier startup sound. These MFDs look a lot sharper, and I swear there's a lot more blue inside the cockpit of this one. Again, I'll put a comparison up on screen. And the audio for the engine sound is definitely different. Let's hear it from outside. Okay. Check out the landing gear. Landing gear pretty much looks the same as it did. And let's hear the engine sounds from inside. Very different. It's kind of lower. Oh, and it's got great boost sound. And even the sound of the boost turning off is quite nice. Completely different audio feast. Don't you impound me. Let's change it to nav mode. Get rid of some of the markers. Shame about the 323 shaky HUD. I hate that. The sound of the boost going off is really nice. Let's check its maneuverability in space. Yeah, its roll rate is so much better in space. Oh my goodness, it's such a good looking ship, isn't it? Okay, let's hop out. Yeah, the top of the design of this ship has changed quite a lot, and I guess this is a pretty good indicator of what we can expect with the new Firebird that's going to be coming out soon. For a point of comparison, here is the images that we currently have for the Firebird. One thing that kind of disappoints me about the Firebird design is that it doesn't have these amazing holes in the ship. They're something that is going to remain unique to the Sabre, and I'm sure Sabre owners will be quite happy for that. You won't be able to do that with a Firebird, for example. Yeah, let's check out the component bays on the top. At least I assume that's what these are. Yep, okay, so we've got one in the center. Very nice. That animates as it comes out. What have we got here? I'm not sure what components these are. I'm guessing these might be the EMPs, and that's definitely some kind of computing or comms or navigation. Okay, so we've got some more components in this side, and one final button. I assume it's this way around. Okay, and there we have shields. I'm assuming power plant and cooler. For some reason the shields unrender when you go a little further away, but I guess they're probably not expecting you to be in EVA when you're checking this out. Iron Man button pressing. There we go. They've kept the classic yellow for the glass on the cockpit. Very different audio profile they've given it now. From a standstill, yeah, 25.4 Gs of acceleration. That is impressive. That has got amazing acceleration. This is a pretty incredible interceptor, and with a top speed of 1400, there's not much running away from this. Let's have a look on the inside. Power off, engines on, weapons off. None of these buttons. None of these buttons. We've got shut down quantum drive. So there's still a whole bunch of buttons that are not functional in the interior. Disable G-safe limiters, deploy landing gear, open canopy, enable coupled flight, and self-destruct. So they've done quite well with the right-hand panel. Unfortunately, this does seem to have the same issue as the previous Sabre Raven, where if you open the ladder before you get into the pilot seat, which by the way is the default button, you can then enter in ZeroG and it will leave the ladder hanging out. It's only a minor cosmetic and audio upgrade, but I'm sure for Sabre Raven owners, this is a very, very welcome update they've been waiting a long time for. Listen to the sound of this. Oh, it's beautiful. Sabre Ravens were a limited run ship, initially through a partnership with Intel, when you would get a code for this with every one of a specific hard drive that was made. These were the Intel Optane hard drives. And although they have fairly limited capacity in comparison to hard drives that we use today, at the time they were quite an impressive piece of hardware. They were a few $100s at the time, but if you wanted to buy one now, they would cost you an awful lot more, especially if you went for the limited one that came with the Sabre Raven code. So even though it's a relatively small ship, due to their limited nature, I've seen them sell for around $2,500 US. And I must admit, in the thin atmosphere of Lyria, I was about to say it handles really well. Due to how limited edition these ships are, I've seen them sell for up and around $2,500. Oh, I don't know why the ground's not rendering in. Why is the ground not rendering in? Good luck recording a freaking low-flying video with no ground. Stop disappearing on me, ground! So even though it's a relatively small ship, I've seen these, oh come on ground, really?